Welcome to episode 2 of The View on Outbound, powered by OutboundView. My name is James Bodden, and this is a video series all about interviewing everybody but salespeople, CMOs, CISOs, CPOs, all on what works in cold outreach, what doesn't work in cold outreach. And today I am so fired up to have our guest, Ted Rubin. He's a CMO at Photofy. He's a speaker. He's an author. He's been a CMO at companies like Elf Cosmetics. Look, Ted is somebody who also has a sales background as well. So he understands what it feels like to be the one cold calling and what it feels like to receive cold calls. Ted and I had an amazing conversation. He gave us so much valuable information on how to conduct outreach the right way. He's really got social media on lock and gives us some great tips on how to leverage social media to build better relationships. I hope you enjoy episode 2 of The View on Outbound, and we're going to get right into this thing with Ted Rubin, CMO of Photofy.
I remember years and years ago, I got out of college, 1980, and I got into the brokerage business and I learned how to cold call. I mean, I'm talking the real, pick up the phone, dial in for dollars, had to make 100-something calls a day. And we'd stay at night and we'd use a reverse directory just to call people at home in wealthier neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And mostly you get the phone slammed down on you. You get people to tell you you're bothering them. But I remember the guy that picked up the phone and he said, "Hey, kid, you're doing a good job." Because I started just like you did. And if you learn how to make these calls, keep doing this. He goes, "I'm not talking to you right now, but keep doing what you're doing, because if you learn how to reach out to people in a way that they will appreciate and you can connect with them, you will always make a living." And it was great advice early on. And the truth of the matter is, as I started refining my process, I started getting a lot more people like that in higher positions that would sometimes apologize to me. "Listen, I get a million of these calls a day. I really can't take them. But if you do this, this, and that, maybe we can get together. Or if you send me this, I'll do my best and maybe I can follow up with you later." Respect that person. Don't just bang down the door.
Yeah. No, and
Especially today.
No, and a few points. First, the first point you made that I wanted to highlight is I think in this, we've gone from an age of Glenn Ross sales methodology of always be closing, right? We all know we don't want to be that. It's almost, to me, gone too far to the other side of where we're afraid to say that we're salespeople trying to sell somebody something. And so then you get those messages that are very easily shrouded in, "Oh, let's connect and would love to join." Well, I'd rather you tell me straight up, "I want to talk to you." Don't be afraid or don't be ashamed of your real true reason for reaching out. And
Especially because all I have to do is go to LinkedIn and see what you do. I mean, I click on the thing and I go, "Oh, she's a coach.
you're not fooling anybody.
She wants to sell me coaching services. There's no way she just wants to talk to get to know me." That's just, or they can't help themselves. You get on the call, you talk for a couple of minutes, and within a couple of minutes, they stop trying to get to know you and they're trying to sell you. "Oh, by the way, we've got this free webinar." And I have to tell you, right now, it's even more difficult because everybody is under stress right now. Everyone's trying to figure out how are they going to move their business forward. Yep. What's going to work? What's not? What is our emergency plan?
Alert from Google Chrome.
How are we reaching out to? How are we reaching out to people that we need to communicate with, and what are we telling them?
Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting bombarded with offers, and like one of the conversations we've had at Photofy is, when is the right time to reach out? And by the way, we are not selling now at all. And by the way, don't think we don't have to. We are a startup like anybody else. We know how much money we have and how far we can get and what we have to do to keep our business going. But at the same time, I like to say to people that if you ruin that relationship, like nobody looks at the downside of marketing. They only look at the upside. Well, if you make 100 calls, you get 20 people to pick up, you get 2 people to have a conversation with you. And out of those 2 people, 5 days a week, 10 people, you make 1 sale, it works. But what you're not looking at, especially in this day and age when everyone can share, is all the people you're pissing off. And all the people that are going online or picking up a thing or sending out a blanket email to their friends saying, "Hey, if this jerk calls you, don't talk to him. Like he is not looking to help you." So what we're trying to do is we're trying to actually help people. where we put together a small business package for free for 6 months to help people promote their business so they won't have to spend money. It's a great time to start empowering your employees. So we've been talking about that. And then we're reaching out to some of the bigger enterprise companies we were talking to and saying, listen, we know you're under stress, right? And by the way, we haven't done this outreach yet. We're preparing to, because we're giving them a few weeks to figure out what the hell's going on and what they're doing. And then because some people will perceive it as a sale and some people just aren't taking calls. I mean, I've got really good friends I'm close with, and I'm writing to them and they know me. They know I'm legit. I'm saying, is there anything I can do to support you or your company? And they're still not responding to me. Or I'm getting a quick, got it, thanks, right back, because they got their hands full. How am I going to pay my employees? How am I going to support my family? How am I going to keep my business going? And the higher up you are, the more responsibility you have for people under you that you want to make sure have a place to work all the time. And then, so what we're doing now is we're preparing, again, a free offer. Something that for 100, and we're not talking about sign up for a week and then you got to pay. We're talking about a 3 months free 4 months free, 120 days for an enterprise company, and we'll do the work on the other side. Yes, are we hoping down the road that they'll say, hey, look, these guys were here to support us, and it gets our foot in the door in doing business? Of course we are.
Absolutely.
But I have to tell you that the people that know John and I know that if we had a $100 million business throwing off $20 million a year, that we'd be giving away this shit for free without any worry or decision or hope that we'd have business in the future. We'd be doing it to support and help the community.
Yeah.
And that just one last thing. I'm sorry.
No, this is great.
I just want to lead that into something. I say a lot that a brand is what you do. A reputation is what people remember and share. And that goes very heavily into selling. So if you have a reputation as, yes, he's a sales guy, but he's always there to support me. He's always there to help me. He sells me valuable information. He connects with me the way I want to be connected, or she, of course. I apologize. I'm a he, so I tend to speak that way. Then that person says, here's somebody I want to do business with. There's an old business adage that says, everything being equal, everybody prefers to do business with someone they like versus someone they don't like. Everything being unequal, everyone prefers to do business with someone they like versus someone they don't like. So how do you become that person they like? You do things to support them. You try to help out. You recognize that this is a long game. And by the way, I just want to cut off for one other thing. I get there are people out there that have to eat tomorrow. I get it. And I understand that some people have no choice. They've got to get on there. They've got to try to make a sale, but also I've never found anything wrong with being upfront. Hey guys, listen, it's a tough time. I've got to make some sales. I can make you a great deal right now, but not in an email, not with a blanket, big, free now, not like the goddamn car dealerships are doing, coming now and we'll give you 4 months without having to make your payments. By the way, I still going to have to make those freaking payments. When I'm digging myself out of the hole. And why are you trying to sell me a car right now? Where am I driving it to the hospital?
Yeah. No, and I mean, I think so many people right now are wondering what the hell to do. Individual sales guys and gals, companies, we're all in this space. So this actionable kind of tactical advice is so helpful, Ted, because, if you're sitting there and you're in a position where you're lucky enough to have a company that can kind of wait and let people settle down, then that's great. But if you are in a position where you got to pay the bills tomorrow, you can do it in a way that's honest, upfront, and you don't have to feel icky about it. Right.
Exactly. And again, desperation causes a lot of things, and I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't be a hustler.
Yeah.
Don't be the guy selling the stuff that has no value. Come on to my webinar and I'm going to teach you how to sell a webinar. I mean, like really, the more upfront you can be, the more straightforward. And I mean this all the time in sales. You will build a reputation for yourself. And it might not make you the quick sales, but it will make you the sales down the line. And again, please don't misunderstand me. That doesn't mean don't be persistent. That doesn't mean don't keep at it. That doesn't mean don't work hard and get in touch with that person regularly. But also try to get in touch with that person when you're not trying to sell something. And right after you sell something, don't just disappear be there as a resource. Be there just to check out the content they're publishing, share it. There's so many ways to show people you're paying attention these days. And one of the real benefits of social media is find some of those people that you are looking to sell in the long term. CMOs, there are a bunch of them out there that are publishing, that are putting out content, that are building their personal brands, no matter how high level they are. Share their content, because by the way, then they love that you're being in touch with them. I've got a few guys I built relationships with that I would love to sell, but guess what? If I texted them and called them and emailed them every week, they would stop talking to me. But what do? I go to their content, I make a comment, I share it, I discuss it, I get into an engagement with them. There they appreciate it, because like everybody else, they want likes, they want comments, they want shares.
I love it. This is fantastic advice. Anybody watching this, please, if you're not immediately leaving this video and going to implement these things that Ted has talked about, you need to. Ted, thank you so much for stopping by the View on Outbound. Before I wrap this thing up, how can folks get in touch with you, stay connected to you if they weren't already connected with you?
Well, one last piece of information I'll give your people is that everyone's got a little more time on their hands than they used to right now. You're not driving to work, you're doing different things. I mean, I know some of you are home with kids and they take a lot of your attention away, but now is a great time, besides exercising, which is something else I'm trying to get everybody to do, is to start connecting with people on social media. Start building your social media presence. Start doing that work. You always said, I don't have time for that. Like, I'd love to publish more, or I'd love to engage people more on social, but I don't really have time for that. Now you have time. You want to get in touch with me, it's easy. Just Google Ted Rubin. I'm about the first 14 pages, TEDRUBIN, or email me, tedrubin@gmail.com. Call me, 516-270-5511. Not only do I actually pick up my phone, but if I don't, leave me a voicemail. You can, because my voicemail box is not full, and I will get back to you. Or again, find me at Ted Rubin on Twitter, at Ted Rubin on Instagram, Ted Rubin on Facebook, Ted Rubin on LinkedIn. It's really been a pleasure, James. I've got a 2:00 call and I got to go.
Same here. Thanks, Ted.
Okay, buddy. Nice talking to you.